And now it's too late with Alan Mosley.
Guys, welcome back for another episode of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Blake, I meant to ask you this like a week or two ago, and I've forgotten every week, but I've remembered this week.
Yeah.
So with all the extra time that you've had at the house, with all
Okay.
the kids being out of school and all that, what have y'all been doing to like pass the time and keep from going crazy?
Farm work. Lots of farm work. Mending fences, birthing goats. We've had 2 goats born. We're expecting 5 more goats to give birth, which is going to be something like 10 or 12 more. We bought a set of cows. Just keeping busy on the farm, trying to get that together. We did sell a bunch of goats, which is really nice. So there you go. Just keep them busy. There's kids at school. Kids doing the schoolwork from home. We don't like it, but we're doing it.
Now, I don't believe any of that for a second because I know your kids aren't doing the farm work. You are.
Actually, they've been stepping up pretty good, man. They've been doing really good. We're really proud of them. They've going out in the morning and the evening, helping everybody eat and all that. So yeah, good stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
Putting a crack on them, cracking that whip, man.
I had a different monologue prepared, and I scrapped it at the last minute just because of our good friend Mike Meharry.
Okay.
So this is something Facebook did because a lot of people are really struggling with the loneliness and the separation and all that stuff from the pandemic and all the shutdowns and all that crap. And so this is what Facebook did. Go ahead and pull up the graphic.
Look at that.
Their idea of saving people from this time of misery is to add a new emoji. That's the care emoji.
Oh, gosh.
Even apart, we're in this together.
No, we're not. Does that make you feel warm and fuzzy?
So that actually was from my post where I just simply said no.
Yeah, no.
But this is the funny thing though. So they do that, right? But then there's a bunch of people saying, I can't find it. It's not on their emojis. Like they can't react to a post with the care emoji. And so I'm telling them, Mike, because this is sad, but it genuinely made me laugh. Is that I was talking about it and I was just hitting care emoji on every single post he makes for the last several days. Every comment he makes is just Alan cares.
That's
but
awesome.
He doesn't have that, and so he actually made a post saying that Facebook added the care emoji to help people through this tough time, but I don't have that, so I feel more isolated than I've ever felt.
Oh.
I shouldn't be laughing, but this will actually be a good test. So if you're watching the show right now on our live premiere on Facebook, which is at 8 Central, 9 Eastern time, if the care emoji is there, go ahead and give this show a care.
Spam that monkey.
Not a like. By the way, likes are for losers.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, if you like something, you got to do the love, or you got to do. My classic was the wow. Yeah. I wow react everything.
Wow.
Wow's dead. I now care react everything. But the love react is also good.
That's great.
If you just like, it's like, I didn't like your post enough to take the extra few seconds to look at all the different reactions. I just clicked like. Get out of here with your like reactions. We don't want your likes. We want your cares.
Your cares. Oh, anyway.
Why are you laughing?
Because it's funny, dude.
Okay, I felt like you were laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you.
Okay.
At you because it's almost insanely cynical just to create an emoji like that. It's just you just want to slap something.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I could sit here and talk about how Facebook is as a POS because if, every time you mention, and I actually noticed this on some of our stuff, if you mention anything related to the pandemic, then they actually put links on your stuff to like World Health Organization, CDC, so that you can get, quote, accurate information, that's BS. They're not accurate. So and I think it was YouTube that said that they're actually actively deleting videos. If anyone posts a video of something that contradicts the CDC, they delete it.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's genuinely incredible.
That's not cool.
I'm going to tell a quick story before we do our first commercial break. I actually had this conversation with a buddy of mine recently where I had said, I don't get this narrative where people talk about like the greedy corporate capitalist pig. Because in their world, they're thinking that all those people care about is money. And of course, what we would say is that, well, we're counting on that. We know that the only thing that people care about is money, but in a weird way that works out because they're incentivized to make decisions where they succeed and they make money and they're prosperous. And they're decentivized against making decisions based on their feely-feels if it might potentially lose them money.
Right.
But that I really feel like that's been turned on its head the last several years. Like you look at ESPN and they've got all this cultural diversity BS now as opposed to just, sports.
Right.
Like it's a sports network. God forbid you talk about sports. I'm telling on them because the NFL draft was just recently and I was watching the draft and stuff and like they can't help themselves. They can't help but to try to interject politics and issues and stuff into their broadcasts. I can't watch it. I can't watch anymore. And then like take for instance a YouTube, like they're running people off from adding content to their platform, which by the way, it's not like they're paying people to do it. People are uploading their videos. They're hoping to get their videos out there, but YouTube basically gets free content from the world and they're deleting people's free content if it doesn't line up with their politics. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like it goes to show you the power of virtue signaling, and it also goes to show you how, and this was the point my buddy made, was that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right?
Yeah.
And so whereas the population of people who will actually like boycott Chick-fil-A because they funded something or whatever, the population of people that are like that is actually pretty small.
Right.
But they make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And so the people making business decisions are getting mixed signals, and they're afraid that problem is going to get out of hand because they're making so much noise.
Right.
That they cave, right? They acquiesce to these people.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I can tell you for certain, if you ever find yourself, you viewer at home, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you kind of have like you're a principal, but you're really being challenged in the social marketplace, so to speak, you got to stand firm. Because it's not about the people making the most noise. I know that it seems that way, but it's just because it's the squeaky wheel gets the grease. But that adage isn't to say that that's what you want. Right. Because it's a squeaky wheel doesn't mean you should give it the grease. The grease should go evenly out to all the wheels or to the wheels that are most important to your machine, right? So you should be making decisions based on the whole, or your whole customer base, or goodness forbid, in case of like something like ESPN, if you're a sports network, how about you just do sports?
Right. Yeah.
It's at this moment at the end of the monologue that I realize I forgot to shave.
Nah, you're fine.
Like I know people are like, I can't believe it. How unprofessional is this host? You can't have facial hair in late night.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely. No, yes. You cannot.
Well, I approve, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're good. 5 o'clock shadow thing totally rocks.
I was thinking about doing like the goatee thing again.
Nah.
Because to me that's evil twin Alan. Like you know how in the old cartoons there would be like Bugs Bunny, but if Bugs Bunny had like a mustache and a goatee, then that's how you knew as the kid that was the evil twin Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think the goatee thing is just too pre-COVID, man. You know, you got to stick to the times. Yeah.
Are we at a point where we're measuring things based on pre-COVID and post-COVID?
Absolutely. Goatees are pre-COVID, kind of like full beards are pre-COVID, you know. Yeah.
Guys, we will be right back after this commercial break. Don't go away. If you're enjoying tonight's show, consider supporting the program by becoming a member of our Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/Alan Mosley. Hey Blake.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's time for Meme of the Week. Whoa.
So for people that are not giant nerds like me, this is a scene from Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, where the hobbits are hiding from one of the ring wraiths, one of the Nazgul.
Okay.
And of course, instead of the Nazgul, they have a cop with his face mask on, and he's looking for people that don't have face masks. That's what he's doing.
I wasn't really sure about that. I was like, my take on that was that maybe they were afraid that he was going to give him something because he's got a mask on.
No.
Okay.
You got to understand the reference from the movie. That's one of the Nazgul. He's looking for the hobbits.
Gotcha,
and so the hobbits are hiding.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can look at it both ways, right?
I explained it so that everyone would get it in case you weren't a Lord of the Rings fan.
Gotcha.
And then you have to come in here and muddy it up so now people are confused again.
No, I mean, it's like the cop is sick and they're hiding because they don't want to get what he has.
Well, all cops are sick because all cops are, something else that we can't say.
Wearing masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should wear masks.
Yeah.
They should just quit their jobs. That's what they should do. We actually have something really great about that in the next segment. We gotta cool our jets on that because the next segment is going to be really spicy when it comes to that. But in the meantime, let's answer some viewer mail. I think we talked about this before that we got to change the music on that one. It's too breaking news.
Yeah.
And not enough fun questions.
But still, it just makes the moment seem so big and epic.
That's what she said.
Viewer mail.
Anyway, so Dave from Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, right up the road here in Nashville. Dave from Nashville, Tennessee writes, "Dear Alan and Blake, what is your favorite restaurant?" We're gonna make this a two-parter. We're gonna say your favorite restaurant, and then for people at home who may not be familiar with that restaurant, say it's a local eatery. We'll also say what's your favorite chain restaurant.
Oh,
Blake, what's your favorite restaurant?
Man, it's been so long since I've been to a restaurant. I can't remember.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Do you know when the last time we went to a restaurant? Lord, it's been what? 3 months? Mercy, do they still have restaurants? I didn't know.
You have not been to a restaurant for 3 months. It hasn't been that long. 3 weeks maybe, not 3 months.
All right, I like Poncho's down the road. I hope they're still there after this is over.
All right, so yes. So my favorite restaurant is Poncho's. We have this awesome, authentic Mexican place here in Columbia, Tennessee called Poncho's. Poncho's is
Yes, sir.
Poncho's is
yes, sir.
Poncho's is one of those places where, so first of all, it's just great.
It is.
And I always get the chicken fajita nachos. The second thing is, it's one of those types of restaurants where, when you order what is supposed to be one entree for a single person, it's a plate this big and it's piled that high. Yeah. It's they have to be killing 20 chickens just for my one plate of chicken fajita nachos. It's outrageous. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I sound like Regis Philbin. It's outrageous. It's unbelievable.
Hey, but then again, that was pre-COVID. We might go back there and have these little bitty plates about
that.
This
all right,
big,
that's it. That's it. No, I'm cutting you off. That's it. It was a fun little bit in the first segment. We're not doing pre-COVID anymore.
Wait, what was the second part of the question?
What's your favorite chain restaurant? So most people who don't live here don't know what Poncho's is. What's your favorite chain restaurant that everyone will recognize?
What's the Italian place? Gosh.
Olive Garden?
Yeah, that place. One of my favorite chains. Because you can eat anything there. It's all the same, but it's really good. Just lots of everything there.
Okay. All right.
Carrabba's is pretty good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. What about you? What's yours?
Same.
Oh,
actually,
King?
I think
Are you sure it's not Burger King?
I like Red Lobster more than Olive Garden.
All right. Okay. Sure.
Didn't those all used to be owned by the same company? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Whoever it is,
we just hope they're back when this is over. Yeah.
If Poncho's is back, the rest can go. I don't care.
Okay.
Mike from Jacksonville, Florida writes, "Dear Alan and Blake, I have pocket gophers tunneling in my front yard. What should I do?" Blake, do you have gophers out there?
Not gophers, but we have woodchucks.
You got woodchucks?
They're
so how are you handling
on
it?
Steroids. They're huge.
How are you handling it?
I like them. I actually give them banana chips and keep them around because I think they're neat.
Oh my God!
But gophers, yeah. The only way to get rid of a gopher, boy, stick the water hose down in there and just watch them swim.
I like that. Somehow this is how you can tell that me and Blake have been working together too long. I knew that's what Blake's answer was going to be. I knew that Blake's answer was going to be let's run the risk of just destroying the whole property. I actually thought you were going to say something like just put methane gas down there and light a
yeah.
torch or something.
Dude, you remember Caddyshack? You ever
Yeah.
see the first movie?
Yeah. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Oh yeah, just give him a mass-produced cream-filled pastry. It'll be epic.
So Mike, to answer your question, Blake suggests just destroy your property. Eric from Gainesville, Florida writes, Dear Alan and Blake, what pandemic phrase irks you the most? Like, like social distancing, flatten the curve. What's the one that grinds your gears the most?
They start every single TV commercial with the same phrase. In these difficult times. Or in these challenging times. Ah, come on. Just knock it off.
Okay.
Sick of hearing that.
All right. So my new one is being apart together.
Oh God.
Jeff from Gillette, Pennsylvania writes, Dear Alan and Blake, pot pie or apple pie? Pot pie or apple pie, Blake?
Why do they got to do that? Stop with the food, man. I eat both of those like a monster. I will destroy both. I'll put them together. I love both. How can you choose one of those over the other? It's just not okay.
I feel like we could do a whole series of videos
that
where
makes me angry.
Are you done?
Yeah.
When the camera's back on me, so I just assume you're done ranting, but I'll wait. Are you still going?
No.
Okay.
Go. You're good.
I feel like we could do a whole series of videos on like our different food questions of our food quiz is having the thing that's in the question and doing like a thing about it, like a taste testing or whatever. Yeah. I feel like we could do that and it would get like millions more views than our actual show. Would you drink a ketchup smoothie though? For the show. I mean, you ate an Impossible Whopper, for God's sakes.
No, because if I said yes to that, there'd be one sitting on the desk right here, and everybody'd be watching me have to take that thing down. And there ain't enough antacid in the world to cure you from that mess.
And finally, the last one, Andrew from Coatesville, Pennsylvania asks, Dear Alan and Blake, what would a chair look like if your knees bent the other way? Well, my left knee kind of feels like it's bending the other way right now. We were talking about that before the show. So I think my knee is dead.
Oh,
Do you have a funeral for when your body parts die, but you're still alive? My left knee is donezo.
No, you know what you do?
What?
You just get you a broomstick and strap it to your leg and walk around like a cripple.
You just get you a broomstick and you just gets you.
You hobble on it.
You just gets you. You're from Florida. That's not even the real South. You're culturally appropriating me.
Oh, so you want me to talk like this then? Because
you're culturally appropriating me right now.
No, it's okay, man. See what you could just.
Stop it. Now you're culturally appropriating other people. You're going to get us in trouble. Please stop.
Okay.
You know what? You're a racist.
No, I'm not.
You're a racist.
I'm the most unracist person you know.
You're racist.
I'm so unracist.
Racist. Unbelievable.
Knock it off.
Well, if you're done with your ethnic slurs, I think we're going to move on to the next commercial break.
Sure.
Your ad could be playing right now, reaching thousands of potential customers. Sadly, it's not, but it could be. Find out how to be an advertised sponsor for It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Email us at alan@funnybroke.com. You know, one day we're just going to have to just let the whole music clips play out.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's just the show. The show is just a series of tunes. That's the only reason anyone watches the show. You know, I'm actually working on a music video.
Oh, you are?
I'm going to play a song. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
The world needs to see how talented you really are.
You heard it. You heard it. I didn't say that anyway. So in our stack for today's Desk 2 segment, I have it titled Arrest. Now you might remember I have said for a long time now that like the feds are not going to have to come shut you down because your neighbors will do it for them.
Yeah.
In this case, your local police, along with help from your neighbors, will do it for them. So this is actually from KGNS, and this is from Laredo, Texas. 2 arrested for allegedly violating emergency management plan. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Someone called into the tip line because someone was doing some unauthorized business, so they gotta crack down on them. Laredo, Texas. A tip from the Laredo Police Department mobile app.
Yeah.
That
They have a mobile app for this?
Talk about things that shouldn't exist.
Jeez.
Leads to 2 arrests of people violating the city's stay home work safe orders.
Yeah.
The 2 investigations originated from tips on Wednesday, April 15th. Both of the alleged violators allegedly solicited customers online via social media. Wait, so hold on a second. So so the government shuts business down, so you're not making any money, so you
Right.
can't pay your bills.
Right.
So as a last-ditch effort to try to make some cash, you're advertising online that you can like do some business from home, and that's still not good enough. That's still not good enough. 2 undercover officers working on the COVID-19 task force enforcement.
Jeez. Is this real?
That
man?
exists. That exists, by the way.
Are they asking me to get in a boxcar yet? Because
that exists, by the way. The COVID-19 task force made contact with each solicitor to set up an appointment for a cosmetic/beauty service that is prohibited under the emergency ordinance. So this is the beautiful thing about natural rights,
right,
is that you have them regardless of anyone passing any emergency ordinance. There's no such thing. You can use whatever flowery language you want, and there could legitimately be something going on in the world. But if you have a right, you have it.
Yeah.
It's not a right unless people are coughing. It's not a right unless someone shoots at some kids at a school.
Right.
It's not a right unless someone says some mean things on the internet. It's just a right. You just have it. So anyway, police arrested 31-year-old Ana Isabel Castro Garcia, that's a lot of names, at the 1200 block of Harding Street after she allegedly agreed to provide an undercover officer with nail service.
Ooh.
They've actually got police going undercover. Like they say that like they're in a hard gang or something.
Yeah.
They're going undercover asking for some beauty services. And if you agree to do them, freeze!
You're going to
scumbag!
Jail. How dare you do nails?
Castro Garcia allegedly admitted that she was running a nail salon inside her house and promoting her business via social media. So again, she is staying home.
Right.
But she's inviting people into there. So like you're responsible for yourself, by the way.
Yeah.
So she is actually, so first of all, she should be able to do business wherever she wants, because go F yourself. But she actually is staying home and providing the service at home. But the personal responsibility is on you as the customer as to whether or not you trust going out and going to this person's home for that service. But that's still not good enough for these people. These people are freaking Nazis.
They're monsters.
Like, it's amazing that we live in an era where everyone who doesn't agree with you is a fascist. Except for, of course, that's BS. Just because someone has a difference of opinion with you doesn't automatically make them a fascist.
Right.
But these people actually are. These people actually are fascists.
They are.
And of course, they're heroes, salute and all that garbage. She was arrested and charged with violation of Emergency Management Plan CB. I wonder what Emergency Management Plan A was. And was transported to the Webb County Jail, where she was held in lieu of a $500 bond set by Judge Dominguez. So these are poor people who are running out of money because they can't go to work. So they're trying to figure out ways to raise some cash from home. They can't. And so you arrest them, and now they're having to sit in jail because A, you have kidnapped them, and B, they can't afford to pay your BS bond. So now they're in jail. Is that the answer? No matter what you think about all the BS going on in the news about the pandemic crisis, no matter where you fall on that, is the answer to put this poor lady in jail?
No, of course not.
In the second case, Brenda Stephanie Mata, 20, was arrested at the 1100 block of Hubner Street after she allegedly agreed to perform eyelash service inside her home for an undercover cop. So again, she's just inviting people into her home to come for a service that... Jesus Christ. Mata was arrested and charged with violation of Emergency Management Plan CB and was transported to the Webb County Jail.
Jeez.
This is the end of the article right here. Police would like to remind the community that during the stay-at-home order, non-essential business shall remain closed and any violation will result in a citation or even jail time. Let me translate that for you. Police are telling you under penalty of death that during the lockdown on which you are imprisoned in your home, anyone that we deem non-essential, not non-essential, everyone's essential. If you're a human being trying to make money to put food on your table, you are essential. Paying your bills is essential, so any work you do to pay those bills is essential. There's no such thing as non-essential. Let me clear that up right now. There's no such thing as non-essential. But to them, if we deem that you are not of the favored class that we will allow to make money, you will remain closed, or you will suffer our consequences, and if you resist those, you will die. That's what that actually says. That's not their flowery wording. That's what it actually says. Like, that just...
Where is this going? Is this going to get better, or is this crap going to continue? I mean, at what point does it just stop? I mean, I was looking on my Facebook feed today, you know, and I mean, it's gone from happy-go-lucky and a whole lot of people just agreeing with it and going along with it and recommending others to just wear the mask, wear the gloves when you go out in public, protect yourself, protect your friends, it's okay, to now I'm sick and tired of wearing a mask. You know what I mean? At what point is it going to end?
So I'll end this segment on this before we take our next commercial break, is that what I am mostly concerned with at this point, because I feel like the tables are starting to turn. You're starting to have more people question out loud, I don't know if this lockdown is the right thing. Maybe they jumped the gun on this stuff. Maybe people should be back open, yada, yada, yada. What I'm more concerned with is that, and I'm not one of these conspiracy types that thinks this whole thing was a big psyop by the government to see what people would put up with. I'm not saying that that's what it was exclusively, although I am saying they're absolutely taking notes on what people will put up with. And what I'm mostly concerned with at this point is, if this is how far the envelope could be pushed, and if this is how much people were willing to lay down and accept because they were scared of the flu, how much further will it go during the next crisis?
Oh yeah.
Because it's not like the coronavirus will go away and then we're going to have 100 years of plenty. There's going to be another crisis. There may be another crisis that's manufactured, or there may be another crisis that's genuinely something to be concerned about.
Right.
To me, that's irrelevant.
Right.
Whether or not it's something that's blown out of proportion, or whether it's something to genuinely be concerned about, that is totally irrelevant.
Right.
What is relevant is again, if they were able to get away with this much crap, if so many state governors were willing to put the boot down on the necks of so many people, if the federal government was able to pass so many bills, to just ram through so much crap through Congress, so much extra spending, just exploding deficits, to add, I mean, what, like 4, 6, 8 trillion more dollars to the national debt in a matter of months. If they were able to do that over something like this, imagine what they'll do next time.
It'll be really bad.
Yes. Yes, it's going to be. It will be really bad until, and I don't even use these silly phrases like, well, until the people come together and rise up. There's no such thing. Again, most people are on board. It's only silly people like you or I that actually care about our liberties that are pushing back at all. Most people don't care.
Right.
Most people do not hold liberty as a primary political virtue. Most people who are afraid. And again, I'm not blaming them for being stupid or evil. They're scared. That's what government does. That's what evil people do, is they make people afraid, and then when people are afraid, they're more likely to go along with whatever commands they're given because they're scared. I don't know what the answer it is to that. All I know is that I'm about done with the whole COVID thing. Like, I think we're about done. I genuinely think that given another few weeks, another month, people are going to start coming around to, okay, it's time to move on with life. Yeah. But what will they do next time?
And that's a really scary question, because it's going to be bigger.
Of course, that's what they do. They never.
They've learned way.
Liberty never comes back without
without
wholesale changes in culture from top to bottom. It only gets worse. It doesn't get better. Yeah. What they're who knows? All we can hope is that people can recover from the enormous recession that's coming as a result of all this. And as our friend Suzanne would say, hopefully people will be more prepared for the next time a crisis hits.
Right.
We'll be right back after this break. You did it. I knew you would. All right, we're back. We're back on track.
Yes, sir.
We're back on track.
Yes, sir.
So this was another segment that I scrapped at the last minute because there's some big breaking news out there.
Okay.
Justin Amash, representative from Michigan, has announced that he is going to seek the Libertarian Party nomination for President of the United States.
Okay.
Now, this was something that was kind of rumored for a while that he was going to do, and people were saying, I think he's going to do it. Maybe he's just waiting for they get their little machine ready to go or whatever. This is going to be something that I know within our little community of viewers is going to be a lot of harumph controversy, yelling at one another. And I wanted to share my thoughts on Amash and what it means for the race, and then a little bit about the LP in general. Because people who know me know that I think the LP is a freaking joke, and if I ran for any position in the LP, it would be to abolish the LP. That would be my whole platform. But anyway, so Justin Amash, here's the thing, is that a lot of people, there was a time when a lot of your typical liberty crowd were really big fans of Justin Amash, and where I feel like he really first cut his teeth was really being an outspoken opponent of the Patriot Act. And he was one of the people that was on the front line saying this is wrong, this is unconstitutional, this is antithetical to liberty. And he gained a lot of cred in a lot of circles as being a principled type of person who would stand up and say those things, even at a time when maybe a lot of people are scared. A lot of time, something that has kind of all of a sudden become ingrained in our system since 9/11. But he was willing to take a very principled stand against it. And that earned him a lot of fans, and rightfully so. He deserves it. And also, as far as elected representatives go, which that's a very low bar, might I add, but as far as elected representatives go, I mean, he's towards the very top. Now, I know in recent months, some people have soured on Justin because they feel like he's taken a very strong anti-Trump stance, and they feel like that he's doing that maybe because he's trying to cater to the left, or he's catering to a different demographic, a different audience. Like, look at me, look how anti-Trump I am. Now, I'll come out and say, I don't hold that much against him because, frankly, if you're not against Trump, you don't get it. Like, if you're supporting Trump, like if you still believe MAGA, if you still believe that he's some sort of mavericky outsider who's going to drain the swamp, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. You're just an idiot if you still think that at this point. So I don't hold it against Amash for being anti-Trump, although you could criticize that has kind of become who he is. Like that's kind of overtaken his whole persona of, well, what can I say or do today to be a thorn to Donald Trump, as opposed to it's almost like more of a strategy thing of am I going to promote the positive things that I believe in, or am I going to criticize the negative things I'm against? And there's room for both of those. But I will concede that if all you ever do is criticize someone as opposed to taking a genuine amount of time to promote the positive things you're for, then yeah, you can come off as as a character or a caricature that you maybe don't want to be. But with that said, again, as elected representatives go, he's up there. Now let's just call it for what it is.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the next president of the United States. No third-party candidate will ever win the presidency of the United States as long as the system in place that currently exists is still in place.
Right.
It is a rigged game. It will only ever be a Democrat or a Republican because they are not two parties. They are one party.
Yep.
It's one big club that, and you ain't in it, as George
That's right.
Carlin would always say.
Mhm.
Amash is not in that club, so he ain't gonna get elected.
There you go.
Newsflash: Donald Trump getting elected wasn't a giant rebuke of the system because guess what? We're still at war. They're still bombing brown people overseas. They're still running up the deficits. There's been more anti-gun legislation or orders under Trump than even under Obama. Deficit spending, yada yada yada. Guys, get over it. They're all in the club that you're not in.
It's all the same.
So I don't hold it against someone like if the reason why Amash is running is because he wants to get on the national stage and he wants to talk about his principles, then that's bravo.
Yeah.
That's great. I would not donate him any money because, especially now, because we ain't got no money, because he's not going to get elected. Like, I always feel so bad for people that maybe this is their first rodeo, I don't know, and they support somebody because they actually think, oh, this is actually a good candidate. Once we just tell everybody how great he is, then everyone will wake up. No! They don't hold liberty is not the primary political virtue of the overwhelming majority of people. So you can't go out there spreading those. I love it that you talk about. I love it that those are your principles. I love that you try to spread those principles. I mean, I've been doing this on the show for going on 3 years now, but I'm not running for office. And if I did run for office, it would only ever be to get on the biggest stage I could and talk about the principles of peace and liberty. That would be the only purpose of doing it. It wouldn't be to get elected because you're not going to get elected. If you're not promising a bunch of angry people free stuff, you're not going to get elected. That's how it works. Yeah. So Amash isn't going to get elected president of the United States. And first of all, he wouldn't get elected by any party because, I mean, the major parties wouldn't have him and no minor party is ever going to get elected. But there is a couple of things I want to say is that, first of all, he can do whatever he wants, but it is worth mentioning that there are other candidates who have long since declared their intention to seek the LP nomination, and they've been out on the trail and they've been having debates. They've had some debates that were casted live on the internet and different things. And in some ways, Amash kind of jumping in, it's not exactly the last minute, but jumping in way after a lot of others and not having participated in any of that stuff, not really having participated with the other people in the debates, not really. I can't say that he hasn't helped spread the message because he has his own principles and like I said, I think by and large he's been a pretty good representative. But I know that there's going to be some people that are bitter, feeling like he's just sort of throwing his hat in at the last minute to kind of quote unquote steal the nomination. And for the LP's part, at the end of the day, the LP's a political party. I don't support political parties, period. Full stop. I do not support political parties. They are a political party. I don't support them, full stop. By the way, they're totally going to install him as the nominee. Like, I know that there's people out there, I'm sure there's people that watch this show that are Jacob Hornberger folks or an Arvin Vora or a Dan Berman or, whatever. Guys, the LP is going to railroad everybody to make Amash the nominee because he has the biggest platform and the biggest, notoriety. That's totally what they're going to do. It's going to be the next Gary Johnson. Now, I think Justin Amash is better than Gary Johnson. I think he would be a better nominee than Gary Johnson. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. They're totally going to promote him, and he's going to be the next nominee because he's the most famous. I did want to, by the way, I wanted to pull up a tweet that the LP made. After nearly 50 years of working against expanding debt deficits, violations of liberties, new wars abroad, and barriers to prosperity across our country, every victory matters. Welcome home, Congressman Amash, and thank you for helping us make history. Now, what they're talking about there is they're saying we've made history because for the first time ever, there's a libertarian in Congress, as in like an actual libertarian in the LP. That's a load of crap. He didn't get elected as a libertarian. He got elected as a Republican, and then he changed his identification to independent fairly recently, and now he's changing to libertarian specifically for the purposes of running for the LP's presidential nomination.
Yep.
That is not the same thing as saying, ooh, we got a libertarian elected to Congress. If you cared at all about who the man was, if you cared about what his principles and what he stood for, then Ron Paul was a libertarian, and he was in Congress for a long time, long time before people like Justin Amash or Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie is a very libertarian individual. He ran as a Republican. He got elected as a Republican. So it would be wrong for the LP to say, oh, pat ourselves on the back. Mission success, guy. We got a libertarian elected. If you cared about a little L libertarian getting elected, then that's great. Ron Paul got elected. Justin Amash has been elected. Thomas Massie's been elected. But don't claim victory. Don't pat yourself on the back and say, oh no, he's one of us, as in one of our politicos, one of our party members. He's a libertarian on the LP ticket and he got elected. That is not true. That is such a bold, it's such a typical LP thing to do. I actually cringed when I saw that tweet. I was like, oh my God, they're actually doing this. They're just hook, line, and sinker, man. They just immediately absorb Justin Amash as one of their own and say, oh, no, guys. He's a libertarian, which means he's a part of the LP. So look at the House chart where there's however many Republicans, however many Democrats, and one libertarian. We made history. You didn't do jack. And even then, even if you think I'm wrong and you count Justin, the LP didn't do jack. Justin Amash got elected to Congress. Yeah. The LP didn't get anybody elected to Congress. I don't know why this is making me so mad. I guess I'm mad at people that try to claim credit where it's totally not due. So if you like Justin Amash and you want to support him, that's great. I hope you only support him because he's trying to get the message out there and you understand that he will not be president of the United States. You absolutely shouldn't support the LP though. Like I would in some other alternate universe, not this one, because I'm an anarchist. I ain't gonna vote, so I don't vote. But in some other alternate universe, I would be willing to support someone who was running as an independent, and they said, "I am me. These are my principles. This is who I am." I'm fine with that. But the LP, and to say, "Oh yeah, he's one of us. Look, we did this." You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. Why am I so mad, Blake?
I don't know.
I'm really upset.
You're very passionate about this subject.
It's just, dude, I'm totally going to run. Like next.
Absolutely.
Like 2 or 4 years from now, I'm totally going to run either for like LP chair or
yeah,
for.
Like they wouldn't even ask you.
Well, it's not, you don't ask. You run and people.
That's true. But,
yeah,
hey, it's
you don't know anything about anything.
I don't know anything about that sort of stuff.
I'm serious. I'm either gonna run for like LP chair or I'm gonna run for Congress or something.
Right.
And I'm gonna run and I'm gonna say that I'm a libertarian, but I'm totally gonna run as an independent. I'm not gonna run as a member of the LP. You know what I would actually love? This would actually make me genuinely smile. Is that if I ran in some district and the LP ran a candidate against me saying they were the real libertarian.
Oh my
that would actually make me genuinely laugh until I cried. It really would.
Oh man.
Those people are a freaking joke. Guys, we will be right back after this break. like us on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/funnybroke. You can follow me on Twitter. That's twitter.com/Alan M. Mosley. Subscribe to us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/funnybroke. I'm gonna run for something.
Run for something.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, do it.
Don't tell me what I'm gonna do and not do. I'm gonna do it.
Just don't run for your life. How about that?
Well, I mean, I'm probably if I actually got elected, I probably would have to run for my life because I don't actually want to do anything. That's totally my nightmare. My nightmare is that I run for something as just a giant freaking joke, just to get on the biggest stage possible to say you're all a bunch of sheep.
And you win.
Believe in liberty, man, and then I would win, and then I'd have to show up to work. I mean, I guess I could just resign.
Oh man.
But I mean, if you go that far, you might as well collect the paycheck, right?
Yeah. You might as well push your agenda all the way through, just like they all do. And then you're as low as they are.
But then I would probably get Epstein, is what would happen next.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth Riched.
Yep.
Yeah. Duncan limped. And just
the list goes on, man.
Yeah. Well,
you might be able to add Kim Jong-un to that soon.
That's gonna be like that's gonna be my legacy, is that if I get murdered for running my mouth, people will then be able to say later, "Ooh, I don't want to get Alan Mosley." That's what's
Wow.
This got really dark.
Yes,
like right here at the end, we're supposed to be
always
listening
get
to like
dark.
the smooth jazz and hanging out and talking about what a great show we had.
It was
And
a
then
good
all
show.
then I got.
Yeah.
This is actually on the front of my desk. People can't see.
What
This
is
is the
it?
only
Let's see.
person I ever voted for right there.
And you still have a sticker. That's amazing.
I still have one on my car.
Yeah.
And not 2012, by the way. I still got 2008.
Is that how long you've had your car?
No, I've had that car a little bit longer than that.
I wonder if that sticker's worth any money, man. You should
No.
auction it.
Just make some more. Who cares?
You might have to ask old Ron if you can, though.
He won't care. I'm pretty sure the Ron Paul 2008 PCC is no longer active, so I
Right.
think it's.
Done deal.
What? You're a worry wart. I think. I'm worried that you worry too much.
You don't know this copyright thing going on. It's kind of like the old COVID, you know.
You're culturally appropriating me. You're not even Southerner. I'm a
Yes,
Southerner.
I am. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, man.
Whatever.
Raised in
So-
Miami, though.
So full of it.
I'm culturally confused.
You're culturally curious.
No, culturally confused. There's a big difference there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm not trying to. So anyone at home that's culturally curious, I'm not offending.
What is that anyway?
It doesn't.
No.
I can't even make any jokes because you just stomp on all the punchlines. I'm just gonna stop. Jesus. Guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley, and we will see you next week.